Wrestling fans can be some of the most passionate and loyal in the world, but every now and then, a few take things way too far. Whether it's heckling a wrestler in the ring, crossing the line with personal insults, or even trying to jump into the action themselves, these disrespectful fans often forget that they're dealing with highly trained professionals who won't hesitate to put them in their place. In this wild world where the lines between fiction and reality blur, there have been plenty of moments when these overzealous fans got exactly what they deserved, an unforgettable lesson in respecting the squared circle. One of the darkest and most heartbreaking moments in wrestling history unfolded on November 13, 2005, when the world lost the legendary Eddie Guerrero. Eddie, a beloved figure in the wrestling community, passed away at just 38 years old, leaving a void that could never truly be filled. Known for his unmatched charisma, technical prowess, and an incredible ability to connect with fans, Eddie had fought countless battles both inside the ring and with personal demons outside of it. His story was one of redemption, making his untimely death all the more tragic. What made the loss even more poignant was the fact that Eddie had wrestled just 5 days before his passing, delivering another unforgettable performance that showcased why he was so revered. The news of Eddie's passing was met with an outpouring of grief from fans, fellow wrestlers, and wrestling promotions across the globe. WWE, where Eddie had reached the pinnacle of his career, held deeply emotional tribute shows in his honor, where his peers and fans could celebrate the life and legacy of a man who had given so much to the industry. But the tributes didn't stop there. Wrestling promotions far and wide, from the largest companies to the smallest independent circuits, paused to pay their respects. Among them was the hardcore and unapologetically gritty Combat Zone Wrestling, CZW, a promotion based in Philadelphia known for its extreme matches and bloodthirsty crowds. In a rare moment of solemnity, CZW joined the rest of the wrestling world in honoring Eddie Guerrero. The promotion decided to perform the traditional 10-bell salute. A time-honored tradition observed whenever a wrestler passes away. During this ritual, the entire arena is expected to fall silent, with each toll of the bell representing a heartbeat that no longer echoes in the wrestling world. It's a moment that commands the deepest respect, a brief pause to remember the life of someone who dedicated themselves to entertaining others. However, on that somber day, as the bell rang out in Eddie's memory, the arena that had been filled with the roar of passionate fans moments earlier fell into a respectful hush. Everyone, except for one individual. In an act of sheer disrespect and thoughtlessness, this person chose that sacred moment to break the silence, shattering the reverence that had enveloped the arena. It was a move that crossed the line from fandom into something far uglier, and the reaction it provoked from the wrestlers and fans alike was swift and unforgiving.
Get that clown back his money and take him out of
Sometimes, it's not just the harsh words or taunts from fans that push the boundaries of disrespect in wrestling. It's their actions that can take things to a whole new level of audacity. In the world of lucha libre, a wrestler's mask is far more than a mere costume piece. It is a sacred symbol, a deeply rooted emblem of identity, tradition, and personal pride. For luchadors, the mask carries a legacy that has been passed down through generations, representing everything from their mysterious personas to their very livelihoods. Tampering with a luchador's mask is one of the gravest insults in the sport, a violation of both personal and cultural significance. This was precisely the scenario that unfolded during a match involving the legendary La Parka, one of the most iconic and respected figures in lucha libre. With his unmistakable skeleton-themed mask and flamboyant charisma, La Parka had long been a fan favorite, known for his entertaining style and high-energy performances. But during one particular match, the atmosphere took a sharp turn when an overzealous fan in the audience decided to cross an unspoken line. As La Parka battled his opponent in the ring, the fan, caught up in the excitement of the moment, reached out from the front row and made a brazen attempt to grab and remove La Parka's mask. For a luchador, having your mask ripped off in public is not just humiliating, it's an act that strips away the very essence of your wrestling identity. It's a transgression that no true fan of the sport would ever dream of committing, as it disrespects the wrestler and the entire tradition of lucha libre. The crowd gasped as they witnessed the fan's reckless move, realizing that this was more than just a simple breach of etiquette. It was a direct attack on La Parka's legacy. But La Parka, with the instincts of a seasoned veteran and the pride of a true luchador, didn't miss a beat. In a flash, he turned his attention from the match to the fan, reacting with the speed and precision that had made him a legend in the first place. Without hesitation, La Parka delivered a swift and decisive punishment, ensuring that the fan understood the gravity of their mistake. The would-be thief quickly learned that in the world of professional wrestling, especially in the sacred domain of lucha libre, such disrespect would not go unanswered. La Parka's response was a powerful reminder that the ring is a place of honor, where tradition must be respected, and that any attempt to desecrate the sacred symbols of a wrestler's identity would be met with the consequences it deserved. The fan, who moments earlier had likely seen themselves as part of the show, suddenly found themselves on the receiving end of a very real lesson in respect. La Parka's actions sent a clear message to everyone watching. The mask is off limits, and any attempt to undermine that sacred symbol will be met with the full force of a luchador's pride and power. In that moment, La Parka not only defended his own honor, but also upheld the dignity of an entire wrestling tradition, reminding the world that some boundaries are never meant to be crossed. I'll give this next fan some credit. He definitely had guts, though not much in the way of common sense or respect for boundaries. Back in 2013, WWE embarked on a tour in South Africa, a highly anticipated series of shows that featured some of the biggest and most dangerous names in professional wrestling, including the formidable Randy Orton. Known as the Apex Predator, Orton had built a reputation as one of the most intense and ruthless superstars in the business. His cold, calculating demeanor and explosive in-ring style made him a feared competitor. Certainly not someone any sane person would want to cross, especially in his domain, the wrestling ring. But that's exactly what one overly ambitious fan decided to do. During one of these South African shows, the atmosphere was electric. Fans packed the arena, eagerly awaiting the spectacle that WWE always delivers. As Randy Orton prepared for his match, no one could have predicted the shocking incident that was about to unfold. Out of nowhere, a young man with dreams of becoming a WWE superstar decided that his moment had arrived. With adrenaline pumping and a complete disregard for the rules, he managed to sneak his way past security and into the ring, standing face to face with Orton in the middle of a live event. This wasn't just a case of a fan getting too excited. This guy had a plan, though a misguided one. He was an aspiring wrestler himself, and in his mind, this bold move was the perfect way to get noticed by WWE scouts. Perhaps he thought that by confronting Randy Orton, one of the top stars in the company, he would somehow impress the powers that be and secure a contract. But there's a fine line between ambition and foolishness, and this fan was about to learn that lesson the hard way. Initially, Orton assumed the man in the ring was his scheduled opponent, but the second he realized it was just some random fan who had managed to bypass security, everything changed. The playful smirk that Orton often carries vanished, replaced by a look of deadly seriousness. The atmosphere in the arena shifted as the crowd collectively held its breath, watching to see how the Viper, would handle this unexpected intruder. Orton's reputation as a cold and calculating performer meant that no one doubted he would deal with the situation swiftly and decisively. Security quickly rushed into the ring, grabbing the fan and attempting to drag him away before things could spiral out of control. But before the intruder could be safely escorted out, Orton decided to deliver a message of his own. With a swift and brutal kick, he struck the fan right in the face, sending him crashing to the mat. The impact was immediate, leaving the fan with a painful black eye and an unforgettable reminder of the consequences of his reckless actions. That black eye was more than just a physical injury. It was a harsh wake-up call, a symbol of the dangers that come with stepping out of line in the world of professional wrestling. In the end, the fan was incredibly lucky. A black eye was a minor injury compared to what could have happened had Orton truly unleashed his fury. Wrestling might be scripted, but the athletes in that ring are professionals, trained to inflict real pain, and they don't take kindly to anyone trying to disrupt the show or disrespect the sanctity of the ring. Orton's reaction was a clear statement. This is his territory, and trespassing comes with consequences. This incident serves as a powerful reminder that while fans may feel a deep connection to the wrestlers they watch and cheer for, there's a line that should never be crossed. The ring is sacred ground, a place where the wrestler's craft is showcased, and where fans are expected to respect the boundaries that separate them from the action. Randy Orton's quick and decisive response that night in South Africa sent a message that echoed beyond that arena. If you dare to disrespect the ring and those who perform in it, you'll face the consequences. Interestingly, Orton's method of handling the situation was mirrored by other WWE superstars in the years to follow. Wrestlers like Io Shirai have also demonstrated that you don't always need a barrage of fists to put a disrespectful fan in their place. Sometimes all it takes is one well-timed move to ensure that the message is clear. Respect the ring, or prepare to pay the price. In 2017, WWE superstar Sami Zayn found himself in an unexpected situation while on tour in Argentina. As part of WWE's international roster, Zayn was used to the fervor of fans worldwide, but nothing could have prepared him for what happened during this particular trip. While traveling through the city, a group of enthusiastic fans recognized him and decided to follow him around, eager to get closer to their favorite wrestler. At first, it might have seemed like harmless fun. After all, who wouldn't want to catch a glimpse of a WWE star in the wild? But as the group continued to tail him, the situation began to feel more like an invasion of privacy than a friendly encounter. Realizing that the fans were not going to give him any space, Sami Zayn had his guide step in. The guide politely asked the fans to stop following Zayn, hoping they would understand that the wrestler needed a bit of personal time away from the spotlight. However, the fans, caught up in the excitement of the moment, completely ignored the request and continued their pursuit, determined to stay close to their idol. It was then that Sami Zayn decided to take matters into his own hands. Known for his sharp wit and articulate nature, Zayn wasn't about to let the situation escalate without addressing it directly. He approached the group and, using what he referred to as the King's English, firmly told them to back off. His tone was clear and authoritative, leaving no room for misinterpretation. While Zayn is typically known for his friendly and approachable demeanor, this was a side of him that the fans hadn't expected, a reminder that even the most affable wrestlers have their limits. Zayn's choice of words and his direct approach sent a powerful message. While he appreciated his fans, there was a line that needed to be respected. The fans, likely startled by the sudden shift in Zayn's tone, finally got the hint and backed off, realizing that their actions had crossed into unwanted territory. In that moment, Zayn taught them an important lesson about boundaries and respect, demonstrating that even in the world of entertainment, personal space and privacy are not to be taken lightly. This encounter highlighted the delicate balance that celebrities, especially wrestlers like Sami Zayn, must maintain between engaging with their fans and protecting their own well-being. For Zayn, it was a rare moment where he had to step out of his usual role as the fan favorite and assert his need for privacy. A reminder to all fans that while their admiration is valued, there are boundaries that should never be crossed.
Can you get the f away from me, please?
In 1997, wrestling legends Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and Syxx, also known as X-Pac, made an appearance at a Wild Spring Break event hosted by MTV. The trio, known for their rebellious personas and as members of the infamous NWO, New World Order, were no strangers to raucous crowds and intense situations. But even they were caught off guard by what happened that day. As they took the stage, the energy of the crowd was palpable. Fans were cheering, the music was blasting, and the atmosphere was electric. However, amidst the excitement, one spectator decided to take things to a dangerous level. Out of nowhere, this individual began hurling rocks at Nash, Hall, and Syxx, aiming to disrupt the event and possibly injure the wrestlers. Despite the obvious threat, security seemed either unwilling or unable to intervene quickly enough to stop the situation. The crowd was on edge, watching to see how the wrestling superstars would react. Kevin Nash, known for his towering stature and no-nonsense attitude, decided he wasn't going to stand idly by while someone jeopardized their safety. Instead of waiting for security to handle the situation, Nash took matters into his own hands. With the precision and speed that belied his size, Nash zeroed in on the troublemaker. In a flash, he leaped off the stage, charging through the crowd and tackling the rock-throwing fan to the ground. The impact was immediate and forceful, leaving no doubt that Nash meant business. The crowd watched in stunned silence as Nash subdued the fan, making it abundantly clear that this kind of behavior wouldn't be tolerated. After that, the fan had a quick change of heart about throwing rocks. With Nash towering over him, there was no chance of continuing his reckless actions. The message was crystal clear. If you mess with the NWO, especially in such a dangerous way, you'll face the consequences. Nash's swift and decisive response not only put an end to the fans' antics, but also restored order to the event, allowing the trio to continue entertaining the crowd without further interruption. This incident became one of those legendary stories that wrestling fans would talk about for years. A reminder that while wrestlers may play characters in the ring, they're not to be messed with in real life. Nash's actions that day proved that sometimes, even outside the squared circle, the wrestlers have to take matters into their own hands to ensure their safety and maintain control.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here. When the show's over, we want to press charges. We'll come find you.
On April 20th, 1999, the wrestling world was shaken by the untimely death of the legendary Rick Rude, who passed away at the age of 40 due to heart failure. At the time, Rude was a prominent figure in WCW, but his impact had been felt across every major wrestling promotion, earning him respect and admiration from fans and fellow wrestlers alike. His passing left a profound void in the wrestling community, and tributes poured in from all corners of the industry. To honor his memory, various wrestling organizations held moments of silence and traditional 10-bell salutes, a gesture of deep respect reserved for those who have made significant contributions to the sport. However, during one such tribute at an ECW event, the solemnity of the moment was shattered by an unruly fan in the front row. As the arena fell silent in remembrance of Rudy, this fan decided to interrupt the tribute, breaking the respectful silence with his disruptive behavior. The fan's actions were not only disrespectful to Rude's memory, but also to everyone in attendance who had come to pay their respects. The disruption sparked immediate outrage among the crowd, and chaos quickly ensued as the fans' ill-timed outburst turned the event into a scene of turmoil. The outpouring of anger from the fans was swift and intense, as they made it clear that such disrespect would not be tolerated. What was meant to be a quiet and dignified moment to honor a fallen legend quickly devolved into a chaotic confrontation as the crowd took it upon themselves to defend the sanctity of the tribute. In the end, the fans' attempt to disrupt the ceremony backfired spectacularly, serving as a harsh reminder of the respect that the wrestling community demands, especially when honoring one of its own.
You claim to be a wrestling fan? You buy a front row ticket and then you sit on your fat ass while we're trying to pay respect? You should be ashamed of yourself. I can't believe you actually gave birth to something like this.
The situation reached a critical point when Paul Heyman, the owner of ECW and a figure known for his commanding presence and sharp mind, stepped into the fray. Recognizing the gravity of the situation and the need to restore order, Heyman took decisive action to address the disruption caused by the disrespectful fan.
Here is double your money back. Get the out of here.
One of the most polarizing figures in WWE commentary history is Michael Cole. For years, Cole had the unenviable job of promoting WWE's various ventures, whether it was their mobile app, the WWE Network, or other promotional efforts. His role often put him in the line of fire from fans who weren't shy about voicing their displeasure. During a radio show, Cole faced an especially challenging situation when a caller decided to take aim at him with a barrage of harassment. The fan, clearly intent on making Cole's life difficult, unleashed a tirade of criticism and insults. Despite the aggressive nature of the call, Cole's response was nothing short of impressive. No matter how you feel about Cole's commentary, his handling of the situation demonstrated a level of professionalism and composure that's worth noting. Instead of letting the fans' negativity get under his skin, Cole responded with a mix of calm assertiveness and sharp wit. He managed to turn the situation around, effectively diffusing the tension and maintaining control of the conversation. His ability to stay composed and handle the harassment with grace was a testament to his experience and dedication to his role. Cole's reaction to the fans' unwarranted hostility showcased that even in the face of criticism, maintaining professionalism and not letting emotions dictate your response is key. Whether you're a fan of his commentary or not, his handling of that call is a memorable example of how to navigate difficult interactions with poise.
I wish Kaz was doing the show solo.
Hey, listen, kid. You know, you can do whatever you want to do. You can put me on mute. You can turn the goddamn channel for all I care. All I know is I've been doing that show for 337 episodes, so I must be doing something right. And what the are you doing? What the are you doing? I'm hosting a goddamn national television show, and now I'm on a goddamn radio station at the invite of Howard Stern. What the are you doing? And you're listening to us now. So obviously you didn't hit the mute switch tonight.
During a WWE event in Germany, Triple H was in the middle of an intense match against Stone Cold Steve Austin. The Game and the Rattlesnake were delivering an incredible show, captivating the audience with their fierce rivalry. But the action took an unexpected turn when a fan suddenly jumped into the ring, disrupting the match. Triple H wasted no time in reacting. Without hesitation, he made the fan immediately regret his decision to enter the squared circle. Even the referee got involved, helping to teach the intruder a lesson. Security eventually stepped in and escorted the fan out, but not before he received a memorable experience that he surely wouldn't forget anytime soon. This wasn't the only time Triple H had to deal with an overzealous fan. On an episode of Raw, after finishing a match with Big Show, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon were in the ring when they were confronted by Linda McMahon. However, before they could address Linda, they first had to deal with another rogue fan who decided to interrupt the proceedings.
Say this Stephanie's mama! What is this?
It doesn't matter whether it's a massive WWE show or a smaller independent event, fans should never jump into the ring. One guy learned this lesson the hard way. During a ladder match between Eddie Guerrero and Rob Van Dam, a fan decided it would be amusing to knock Eddie off the ladder. Latino Heat quickly made sure the fan got exactly what he deserved.
Eddie Guerrero.
Chris Jericho is definitely not someone you want to make mad.
I'd like to see the son of a bitch that threw that on my face that will beat your ass right now.
Y2J Chris Jericho is not one to shy away from getting payback if you push his buttons. This was evident during an episode of AEW Dynamite when Jericho and MJF were in the ring. Out of nowhere, a fan managed to get over the barricade and onto the entrance stage, getting dangerously close to the action. Without missing a beat, Jericho quickly took a shot at the fan, letting him know that crossing the line would not be tolerated. Jericho was so infuriated by the intrusion that he even shoved the security guard who was there to protect him, clearly upset that the fan had gotten so close. While this fan got off relatively easy with just a hit from Jericho, things could have been much worse. Back in the WCW days, disrespectful fans were notorious for jumping the guardrail and trying to attack wrestlers, often facing harsh consequences for their boldness. WCW was infamous for how often these incidents occurred, and the wrestlers back then didn't hesitate to teach overzealous fans a lesson they wouldn't forget.
As you move next. What's this about? What is going on here?
In the world of professional wrestling, the line between fan and performer is clear until someone decides to cross it. These stories serve as stark reminders that while fans may love the thrill of the action, trying to become part of the show can lead to painful consequences. Wrestlers are trained professionals who put their bodies on the line every night, and they won't hesitate to defend themselves or the integrity of their matches when provoked. So, the next time you're at a wrestling event, remember, cheer, boo, and enjoy the spectacle. But keep your place in the audience. Otherwise, you might just end up as the next cautionary tale of a fan who got what they deserved. That's it for today. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.